This is how they killed Sankara. October 15th, 1987, Ouagadougou. He was in a meeting, the National Revolutionary Council. The door opened, guns spoke, 12 bullets. Sankara stood up, tried to shield his aides, said, "Shoot me, leave them," and fell under the bullets. He was killed along with 12 of his aides. The man who led Africa's most courageous revolution for 4 years, dead at 38 in a pool of blood. What had he done in those 4 years? Vaccinated 2.5 million children in 10 weeks, planted 10 million trees against desertification, gave women voting rights and government positions, cut his own salary, sold the Mercedes fleet, and bought Renault 5s for the government. And at the African Union, he rejected debt. If we do not pay our debt, nothing will happen. If we pay it, our people will die. His killer, his closest friend, Blaise Compaoré, who then ruled for 27 years, building a regime on Sankara's blood. Behind him, France. Behind him, Côte d'Ivoire's Houphouët-Boigny. Behind him, Liberia's Charles Taylor. Behind them all, imperialism's 400-year reflex. Destroy the leader who refuses to obey. This is how they killed Gaddafi. October 20th, 2011, Libya. NATO bombed the country for 7 months. 26,000 sorties. France led Sarkozy. Britain supported Cameron. The US coordinated from behind, Obama and Clinton. They found Gaddafi in a drainage pipe, beat him, bayoneted him, killed him, filmed it, broadcast it to the world. Hillary Clinton looked at the camera and laughed. We came, we saw, he died. What was Gaddafi's crime? He proposed a common currency for Africa, the gold dinar. He had accumulated 144 tons of gold to back it, a system that would destroy the CFA franc, end the colonial tax France collected from 14 African countries. He wanted a United States of Africa. He nationalized his oil. He made Libya the highest standard of living in Africa. Free education, free healthcare, $50,000 from the state for newlyweds, gasoline at 14 cents a liter, electricity nearly free. They destroyed all of it. And what is Libya today? 2 governments, civil war, open-air slave markets, documented by CNN cameras in 2017, African migrants sold at auction. Gaddafi's Libya was Africa's richest country. NATO's Libya is humanity's page of shame. July 7th, 2021, Port-au-Prince, Jovenel Moise, in his bed at 1 a.m., assassinated by Colombian mercenaries. 28 bullets. His wife survived with injuries. What was Moise pursuing? He was trying to reclaim Haiti's resources from multinational corporations. He had signed an energy deal with Venezuela, and he was asking the wrong questions about Haiti's missing earthquake aid. Then they came for me and said, "Traore, be careful. Sankara tried to do it like this. Where is he? Dead. Gaddafi tried to do it like this. Where is he? Dead. The Haitian president tried to do it like this. Where is he? Dead." These are the words spoken to me, to my face, sometimes directly, sometimes veiled. They come into our palaces. They threaten us directly or with veiled threats. And my family, my mother, my father, my siblings begged, "Resign. They will kill you like Sankara." Do you know what I said? Even if I die, it will be good for Burkina Faso. Before watching this video, join the channel, subscribe, and watch this video to the very end. Because today I will not tell you a story about fear. Today I will tell you a story about conquering fear. And this story is not just my story. This is the story of the question that every coward's children will ask. December 2022, at just 3 months after I came to power, the first coup attempt. From within the army, Lieutenant Colonel Emmanuel Zoungrana and a group of officers wanted to overthrow me. Their plan was to eliminate me and restore the old order. Our intelligence services detected the plot. Zoungrana and his team were arrested. 3 months before I even warmed the seat, the first move came. Why? Because the moment I took power, I announced I would expel France. I said I would nationalize the mines. I stated I would question IMF conditions. In the first 3 months, the message was clear. This man cannot be controlled. He needs to be removed. What did I do? That day, I said I knew the names of the arrested, but I preferred dialogue, because I know my enemies. But the real enemy is not internal conflict. It is imperialism. September 2023, the second attempt. Jeune Afrique, the French magazine, published an article about military unrest in Ouagadougou at that exact time. That same night, gunfire was heard near the military base, near my residence. On social media, coup happening reports spread. What did the people do? They took to the streets. Thousands of people, at midnight, flooded Ouagadougou's squares and roundabouts. Burkina flags in their hands, one slogan on their lips: do not touch Traore. In Bobo Dioulasso, in Gala, the same scenes. The next day, intelligence announced 4 officers arrested. Special Forces Commander Abdul Aziz Awoba, VDP Special Forces Commander Sheikh Hamza Ouattara, 2 more lieutenant colonels. National Intelligence Director Sékou Ouedraogo was on the run, and Jeune Afrique, banned from the country for publishing untruthful reports. But the real issue was this: the coup attempt was synchronized with the media leak. French media and the coup plan were moving together. January 2024, the third attempt. This time, the plan was different. During the Africa Cup of Nations, a bomb attack on my residence in Ouagadougou. Backup plan, attack on a government motorcade. Intelligence services detected the plan early. The would-be assassins were captured. Think about this. They tried to use a football tournament as an opportunity for assassination. Because attention would shift to football, security would relax, and they would strike at that moment. This is not just an officer saying, "I want to be leader." This is a professional operation, planned, timed, coordinated. September 2024, the 4th attempt. This was the most painful one, because it was connected to the Barsalogho massacre. In August 2024, at Barsalogho, our army had civilians digging trenches for a defense line. Al-Qaeda-linked militants attacked. Hundreds of civilians died. This was our failure. I acknowledge it. Where civilians should have been protected, civilians died. But what happened immediately after? The security minister announced, this massacre was the first phase of a 3-phase coup plan. Western intelligence services, Côte d'Ivoire, Nigeria, and Ghana included. Former President Damiba was allegedly directing operations from Togo. What did Western media say? Traore is using the massacre as a coup excuse. Perhaps they are right, perhaps not. But what I know is this: Barsalogho was our pain, and a coup attempt piling on top of that pain was no coincidence. April 2025, the 5th major attempt. Security Minister Mahamadou Sana announced on state television, the meticulous work of the intelligence service has revealed a major plot being prepared against our country. The ultimate aim, to sow total chaos. The plan, on April 16, 2025, a group of recruited soldiers would storm the presidency. Simultaneously, large-scale terrorist attacks would be launched. The goal, to place the country under the tutelage of an international organization. Where were the masterminds? In Côte d'Ivoire. Names were given: Major Joanny Compaoré and Lieutenant Abdramani Berry. Dozens of military personnel were arrested. And what had happened weeks earlier? Human Rights Watch had documented and published that the Burkina army killed over 130 civilians in March 2025 in the Boucle du Mouhon region. The coup attempt came right after that report. Coincidence or coordinated pressure? You decide. January 2026, the most recent attempt, the most sophisticated, The night of January 3rd, 1 hour before midnight, the plan was neutralization of Comrade Captain Ibrahim Traore, head of state, either at point-blank range or through an operation to mine his residence. Then, disabling the drone base. Then, ground military intervention by external forces. External forces. Listen to those two words carefully, because behind this plan is not just amoeba. Context. In December 2025, France, Nigeria, Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, and Sierra Leone militarily intervened in Benin to prop up France-backed President Patrice Talon after a coup attempt. Those foreign troops remain stationed in Benin. Benin is our southern neighbor, and Togo, where Damiba lives in exile, is on our western southern border. We are surrounded by hostile countries, and the January 2026 plan was the final link in this encirclement. The plan was recorded. Audio of conspirators discussing it was seized. Security Minister Sana appeared on television late at night. Our intelligence services intercepted this operation in the final hours. Main suspect, Paul-Henri Damiba, former president, the man I overthrew, directing operations from Togo in exile, funding, recruiting soldiers, building civilian and military networks, and the people again took to the streets. At midnight, Ouagadougou's squares filled with thousands chanting, "Do not touch Traore." The security minister's words, this latest mobilization of the people to protect their leader bears witness to their determination to support the irreversible march toward the liberation of Burkina Faso from the chains of imperialism. Now stop and count. December 2022, coup attempt. September 2023, coup attempt. January 2024, bomb assassination plot. September 2024, coup attempt. Early 2025, $5 million bribe offered to my security guards to assassinate me. The guards refused and reported to intelligence. April 2025, major coup conspiracy. January 2026, assassination plus drone-based sabotage plus foreign military invasion plan. These are only the confirmed major attempts. Some sources say 18, some say 19, some go up to 30. The exact number may never be known, because most successful intelligence operations are not shared with the public. But I know this, since the day I took power, every night I sleep without certainty that I will see the next morning. Every convoy is a potential trap, every meeting a potential ambush, every name in my inner circle a potential Judas. Sankara was killed by his closest friend. I know this, and every day I live with that knowledge. My family asked this question. My mother asked, my father asked, my siblings asked, resign, save your life. You are a young man. You have a long life ahead. My answer, in the speech I just shared, is we are cowards. Our children will ask us questions. Imagine if in Burkina we refuse to fight and accept to live in slavery. Tomorrow our children will grow up and they will ask, were our parents cowards to leave us in slavery? This question keeps me standing every night, because if I die as a name. But if I fear, I kill as a generation. My fear determines the fate of 25 million people. My retreat is Africa's retreat. Whether we are alive or dead, we will feel it. The coward is afraid, and the imperialists have understood. They try to instill fear in the leaders so that you become cowards, because when you are a coward, all other vices can arise. Imperialism's weapon is not just bombs. Its real weapon is fear. They scare you. Then because you are scared, you surrender. Then because you surrendered, they plunder. That is the cycle. And to break the cycle, the first thing that must break is fear. They always take examples. They will tell us, you know, Thomas Sankara tried to do it like this, but where is he? He is dead. The Haitian president tried like this. Where is he? He is dead. Gaddafi tried like this. Where is he? He is dead. Look at this list. Sankara killed. Gaddafi killed. Lumumba killed. Olympio killed. Cabral killed. Is this coincidence? No, this is policy. From 1945 to 1991, historians counted 64 covert regime change operations by the US through the CIA worldwide, and 6 open wars, assassinating a leader, making a coup, buying an election, creating unrest to topple a regime. Fidel Castro, world record holder, survived 638 assassination attempts. The CIA tried everything: poisoned cigars, exploding seashells, booby-trapped buildings, even using his girlfriend. Castro died at 90 of natural causes. Gaddafi survived 28 known attempts over 40 years, was ultimately killed by NATO intervention. And I, in 3 years, at least 18 to 19 confirmed attempts. In other words, I have experienced more than half of what Gaddafi faced in 40 years, in just 3 years. Compared to Castro's average of 10 per year, my rate is higher. What does this mean? It means imperialism sees me right now as the greatest threat. Because I do not just talk, I act. I expelled France, did not just talk. Nationalized mines, did not just talk. Achieved food self-sufficiency, did not just talk. 94 tons of gold did not come from talking. And with every success, another attempt came. Because every success proves something imperialism called impossible is actually possible. And that is the most dangerous thing for them. Proof that an African country, small, poor, landlocked, can succeed without imperialism. You often see when we speak, or when we have the opportunity to be in certain situations abroad, we often make statements calling on African heads of state to wake up. We are often misunderstood. Some have responded publicly to our statements because they feel targeted. But I can assure you, when we find ourselves in their corridors, these same heads of state tell us, "You are on the right track. This is what needs to be done." Do you hear that? The same African leaders who criticize Traore on camera tell him in the corridors, "You are right." The same leaders who vote for sanctions at ECOWAS meetings whisper in private meetings, "We wish we could do the same." We ask them why you do not do as we do, why you do not support us. Some tell us they are entangled. Some tell us they cannot. Entangled, cannot. These words are colonialism's modern language. The chains are no longer on wrists, they are in minds. And the chains in those minds are stronger than any physical chain. Dear elders, African heads of state, from this platform I would like to say that African peoples are the most peaceful peoples. When you recognize the wrong, you must tell the people. Let us not be afraid tomorrow to go out and tell the people. We apologize. We have been compromised. We have ill-gotten gains. We have been constrained, and we ask forgiveness and return to the right path. This is not a threat. It is an invitation. To cowardly African leaders, it is not too late. You can still turn. Go to your people, confess, ask forgiveness, and take the right path. How many leaders accepted this invitation? I do not know. But I know this. Since 2022, Mali found courage. Niger found courage. Chad found courage. Senegal found courage. The dominoes continue. Perhaps the corridor whispers are slowly reaching the podiums. We are writing history. There is no room for cowardice. If our ancestors had been cowards, we would not be here. Every African youth needs to memorize this sentence. If our ancestors had been cowards, slavery would have lasted forever. If our ancestors had been cowards, colonialism would never have ended. If our ancestors had been cowards, we would have no flags. If our ancestors had been cowards, even our names would not be our own. And if we in 2026 are cowards, our children in 2050 will ask, there were 94 tons of gold. Where did it go? There were factories. Who shut them down? There were railways. Who stopped them? There was sovereignty. Who surrendered it? The answers to those questions are being written today, every day, with every decision, with every act of courage or every act of fear. I am not afraid, and we expelled France. 400 soldiers, February 2023. I am not afraid, and we arrested 4 French officials for espionage. I am not afraid, and we left ECOWAS, built the AES, created our own alliance. I am not afraid, and we nationalized 5 gold mines, created Sopamib. I am not afraid, and we produced 94 tons of gold, highest in history. I am not afraid, and we turned the current account from deficit to surplus, first time in 60 years. I am not afraid, and we achieved food self-sufficiency. I am not afraid, and we opened tomato factories, built railways, brought electricity to 160,000 homes. I am not afraid, and we paid off $4.7 billion in foreign debt. Every I am not afraid was met with an assassination attempt. Every assassination attempt was answered with an achievement. Every achievement triggered a new assassination attempt. And the cycle continues. But we do not stop. We continue. Because the moment we stop is the moment we lose. Let me tell you a secret imperialism will never tell you. Imperialism is not as powerful as you think. What did Sankara say? Imperialism is sometimes like a ghost. In the daytime, it appears very frightening. But when night comes, you realize it was nothing at all. France, in 2022, had military bases in 8 African countries, a superpower. By 2025, 2 countries remained, Djibouti and Gabon. In 3 years, expelled from 6 countries. Is that power? That is collapse. Imperialism depends on your fear. When you are not afraid, imperialism's only weapon is military intervention, and they can no longer afford that cost. They paid it in Libya, and Libya collapsed, and the entire Sahel destabilized, and millions of migrants flooded Europe, and now Europe is drowning in a migration crisis. They are paying the price of what they did. I address every person watching this video. If your leader is a coward, you be brave, because leaders come from the people. A cowardly people cannot produce a brave leader. A brave people cannot harbor a coward. The people of Burkina, at midnight, took to the streets, said, "Do not touch Traore." That is not my power. That is the people's power. I am the instrument of the people's will. As long as the people are brave, I cannot be stopped. If the people fear, no leader can stand alone. Write in the comments, would you go out at midnight to protect a leader in your country? Yes or no? The answer to that question determines your country's future. Share this video, like it, subscribe to the channel, because these stories are told nowhere else. Final word, directly to you. We are writing history. There is no room for cowardice. 19 assassination attempts, 3 years, and I am still here, still opening factories, still nationalizing mines, still building railways, still speaking. Why? Because cowards' children ask questions. Mine will not. Homeland or death, we shall prevail.